Well, well, well. I said, well, well, well. God bless you all. Good morning. I am Prophetess Christine Yvette Thompson, the one and the only. And I will soon be free. And the world will soon be able to have the authentic word of God without apprehension and hindrances and so forth and so on. First and foremost, I just want to say good morning to you all. Good afternoon to some, depending on where you are in the world. I want to say I have a lot to talk to you all about today. It's amazing how, well, first and foremost, let me say this. It's amazing how during the month of January, year after year, as a perpetual cycle, so a repeated cycle, perpetual, continually, every year, the church does the same thing. And they say, we're going to fast and we're going to pray for the first 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 days of the year. And they do this, and it's just, I don't understand why they do it. I don't know if they do it because they say, I'm going to give God the first part of the year. I don't know if they do it as a part of first spiritual fruits unto God, or if they do it to circumcise the door or the entrance to their new year. Everybody does things differently. I just don't do that. But there comes a time when you just got to say, listen, you done prayed, you done fasted. It comes a time when you got to get up and do something. And when you get up and you do something, or you get up and you hear something, and you get up and you see something, that's when the differences is made. So I'm saying, well. Cat Williams right off the bat. Which is, I don't care who y'all is. I don't care what you say. I definitely don't care what y'all say now. Now that what I've been through the whole time about every single person that was perverted, fake, false, fictitious in the church. I saw how they did me. I saw how they blackballed me. That's why I wrote the book, Blackballed and Backslidden, but said a new birth lives in me. Meaning that I'm going to still give birth. I'm going to still give birth to purpose and destiny and do what God wants me to do. But all of them was in, every single bishop that's crooked, everyone that's perverted, they was all in the backdrop together. It was nothing but, like Cat Williams said last night, they gatekeepers. And listen, the saddest part is this. God said the gates of hell will not prevail against his church. So what the devil did was when it got demonic gatekeepers, put them at the doors and entrances of every major platform in America, the devil secured his spot. He said, God, I am going to have an audience with you. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to get in your choir. I'm going to get in your preachers, your pastors. I'm going to get in your politicians. I'm going to make sure you got to see me. That's what Satan did. And then he said, I'm going to make sure that not one real authentic prophet makes it through. So last night, Cat Williams was talking about the gatekeepers. This is the scariest thing, which I always say I've never seen nothing like this. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for God since I was 5 and 6 years old. Just seeing. But to have a dream, I didn't see nothing about the Cat Williams interview. On God, on the feet of my God, I swear on the feet of my God, I saw nothing about the Cat Williams live or his interview until you saw me first post it on my page. Instagram. I didn't know he was gonna be on nowhere. I didn't get no information like from no social media platforms or any of that. And I go on TikTok last night, and there's my favorite comedian, all except when he be cussing. And he discussed a lot about that last night. Cat Williams is, God kept speaking to me about king. And that's when I started showing it about the Dr. Martin Luther King thing and all that, and then dealing with the kings and dealing with that. And then he got on there and he was like, did y'all see how the kings of comedy tried to do? He said they tried to come put me in there to replace a real king. And then he talked about Bernie Mac. But here's the big thing. Going into yesterday, I had a dream. God showed me clear as day. I looked into one window and another window. It was two windows I could look into. Two of the windows I was looking into was Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams. That was the two windows. Beyond the three pyramids, because it was a pyramid. So I had to look beyond the limitation, the barrier, the restriction of the three demons that was trying to hold me back. I had to go beyond that and look over and look into. And when I saw Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams, soon as I saw Cat Williams, I was like, now listen, I'm not star shocked. Like, what do they call it? Star shocked or whatever they are. But I just love some Cat Williams because he's so intelligent. And it's a difference between comedians that get up there with some foolishness, talking about they done been to Ivy League schools, they done did this, they done did that. But when they go to open up their mouth, they ain't talking about nothing about politics, talking about nothing about children, talking about no facts, don't have no facts about nothing. God showed me in that dream cats everywhere. I told y'all before I posted any live yesterday, I told y'all that I had a dream. I said I looked into one window and I looked into another window and it was cats everywhere. It was cats. It was a cat. And then it was like one cat specifically that came up close to my ear, this ear, and didn't say nothing in my ear, just cuddle around my ear. And I can't stand cats in the physical. Like, I don't want to be nowhere around cats. So the first thing I said was, God, I don't want to see nothing demonic. I'm praying. I'm like, And then I go there and see the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, you on another level now, nigga. Shannon Sharpe went from, he done took Oprah. They talking about Oprah gonna come on his show. He took Oprah's spot. You remember the spot that Oprah had as the #1 TV host or whatever? Shannon Sharpe is that now, but he a man, a real man with no sugar in his day. He ain't trying to have her come on. He done took Oprah's spot. The nigga going to daytime NBC, ABC television. When he sat there with Cat Williams last night and let Shannon Sharpe, I felt so bad for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe was like, man, please God. And I could see the nervousness on him. But he stood there, them muscles and biceps was standing for real on him. Because he was like, God, I can deal with this, God. But this nigga telling so much truth, and this type of truth ain't been told. We're not allowed to tell this type of truth, this type of stuff. And I'm sitting there like, oh. And Cat Williams like, boom, 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 truth. And you can tell when a person is telling the truth. It was just truth. And then when I'm looking, that's when I saw them cats start to walk around like that in the realm of the spirit. I said, what is that? God said to me, first of all, you know the saying, cats got 9 lives. So he's sitting up there telling every story. Then God was letting me know those are his witnesses, his childhood witnesses, His when he was homeless, that witness. When he was being abused by his father, that witness. That's what them spirits was around. That's what them cats was. And God had to show me that thing when I was looking into it. Every cat, every memory, every moment that he had to suffer and go through something, they just sitting up there walking around as his witnesses in the realm of the spirit. If you're just looking at it and you don't have spiritual eyes, you're not a prophet. You can't see the realms, what's going on, the manifestations. And then Shannon Sharp sitting over there, Shannon Sharp trying to get some advice on how he could be a good man, how he could get a good woman and keep a good woman. And I'm like, oh, God. And then it came apart in that thing, and it was for me watching, it was almost unbearable, because he asked them the question. But nobody who wasn't a prophet didn't see it. He said, how was your childhood? And for a moment, the drinks didn't matter. For a moment, he did like this. He had to do like that, because that's how the pain hit him. And it took all of the man he was, not even to cry, but just to say what it was. And even in pain, he wouldn't say nothing bad about his dad. Did y'all see that? Then he said, them niggas blackballed me because I believe everything. He said, I don't care what y'all say. This is the time and season of truth. And then he said, and once I establish this place is a safe place to tell truth, he said, oh, they all coming. I don't know who Shannon Sharp could interview that could get people to watch like what he did with Cat Williams. I don't know.
We got a chance. Chance at what, Mikey? Getting killed?
By the way, I'm drinking a soda. Yep. It's a new year and I'm doing new things. I want a little bit of soda.
Besides, we gotta get to the police. Maybe Chuck already got the police. Maybe Chance is dead. Never say that. Goonies never.
But it was amazing.
I'm not a Goonie.
I just said, now, I'm a writer.
But still,
I'm a writer.
don't you realize
I can go into an archive right now and just start reading to you right now
it'll be over another
off my stuff I've written.
The next time you take a test.
When he said, I know my stuff was going to be funnier than theirs because I wrote it. What was he saying? They can't even write.
Stuff for us.
They can't read. They don't have
Gotta do what's right.
the gift of arts.
This is their time.
They don't have that imaginary nothing. And then he said something, because then one of his interviews came up from what he did about 20, 30 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It was the young Cat Williams. And that man, that white man who interviews everybody, the night show. I forget his name, but he had all them lights and stuff in his backdrop when he used to always interview the other like stars or whatever. And he was asking Cat Williams a question. He said, what is your special talent? Cat Williams said, clairvoyant. I knew he wasn't lying, because I said, how could you stand flat-footed to do something and to write something and you have no vision? You can, there's no way you could perform the way he can flat-footed. I always boast about it. I'm like, I'm not using notes. When I preach, when I minister, the only thing I'm doing is reading, and then the vision opens up and then I can see it. That's how I can preach and minister and prophesy and go on and on without no notes, no projectors in front of me, no daggone pianos, organs, drums around me, no whole everybody clapping. See that right there. Then he said, truth. This is the statement he made of the decade. He said, truth don't need no motivation. So when they going around talking about, oh, you just talking to yourself, like when I do my lives and they trying to hide my stuff. No, I'm doing this because this is what I'm called to do. Truth don't need no motivation. So I'm always going to do what I'm called to do, whether there's a clap, a like, an applause, whether they limited it, restricted it, or whatever. All them people who need all of that, they don't have real calls on their life. They're not really chosen. They're not really elected. They need constant pumping. I've been doing it. They stole, if God was testing me, I passed the test. I told you I got a B for the grade. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. And I've been saw when they did all that limited stuff to my stuff. My freedom of speech was taken. My freedom of expression was taken. The lawsuit gonna be big. False imprisonment was there because when they take that and they do that to you, that's false imprisonment. Sexual harassment, all kind of stuff. The clowns, it's just over for them. It's over. I want to say one more thing in this live before we go into today's word. My public apologies. My public apologies for not losing my temper yesterday, because I didn't lose my temper, but I was so angry. I was very angry, and I was very, very upset because of a couple of things. And so I came on and I said this and I said that. And people who know me know I'm very well maintained, and I don't really get upset unless somebody start talking crazy, talking stupid, giving clues and indicators with another gang, with a gang. I told y'all I don't get down with nobody in red and black. Nobody. When you see that, you got to know where the enemy at. So, when I start seeing any clues and signs and stuff that somebody's trying to do something to my kids, and then God saying, showing me this, showing that, I'm not delusional. I'm not crazy. I'm not El Polo Locos. Y'all, it's been women in the church who all we done seen is that the last person they was seen with was that bishop. And next thing we know, the girl go missing after that bishop got a restraining order, and then she dead. She turned up in the lake somewhere. Ain't nobody done said nothing. That's when God told me, don't play with them demons, because they talking about they in no church and they in no pulpit. Don't. No, honey. No, sir. So I tells fast. I made sure everything in writing. Don't play with me and my family, my children. I mean, the people are evil. They was conspiring in the Bible, and they be conspiring now. Trying to see when you home alone. Trying to see when you home alone. Trying to see when you home alone. Trying to see when you go here. Do this, do that, do everything. It ain't funny no more. It never was funny to me, but it's really not funny now. It's not funny now. And God forbid the person is abusing drugs. And then we got these irritating and agitating men that come from Africa, and they come into America. And I'm not talking about the one from out of South Africa's. No. I'm not talking about John Anaseke. Okay? I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the other ones that come out of Africa, come over to the States and falsely prophesy and try to enforce something against a shield of God. Around me, in front of me, is a shield of God. You're not getting beyond that shield on no foolishness. You're not getting beyond that shield to exploit me and take advantage of me. You're not getting beyond that shield without a dowry, without money, without truth, without transparency. I've seen how the men in the church go and get their girlfriends and give their girlfriends platforms. I've been a part of churches, and every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, here's another daggone girl coming there sitting in the first lady seat of the church, and she coming in there, and you know they sleeping around, and then she leaves with them. Because that's where he saw the value at. So he done dated the woman over here from this TV show. Then he went and dated another woman from that TV show. Then he went and dated that R&B singer. Then he went and dated this. Then he got this woman over there in Bahamas. He got 4 girlfriends in Bahamas. He got 2 girlfriends in Virginia. He got 5 boyfriends. He got 25 babies everywhere. And then people think you're going to fall for that. And another thing God done let me know that they doing is worshiping these sororities. So they say that they be wearing that red and black to worship or to give honor or pledge to their sorority. But they are literally worshiping the devil. And in fact, if they were really, really smart, they would know where the origin of sororities came from. They always got something to say about the Ivy League, the Ivy League schools. They always got something to say about Harvard University. All of the sororities started from Harvard University, Yale University, Princeton University. Okay, that's where the origin, the foundation of education, when they started with them sororities over there in another country, what was that, England, when they started over there, that's where sorority came from. So when they found out that they could associate themselves with a sorority and they would be connected to something that had meaning and something that had a secret code or something that had secret societies in it and different types of signs and symbols and clues and give them access to this and access to that. And God forbid you going before somebody and they're a part of that alumni. They're a part of that sorority and you're going to court against them. And if you got to go to court against them, they friends with the daggone judge. They're in the same frat. They're in the same sorority. Call it Masons or whatever. I had a dream. I was in a church. When I was in the church in that dream, I looked up and there was this thing up there in the pulpit. I can't really see the face or whatever, but the thing said something to me about, you're a Mason. That's a Mason back there too. I said, who a Mason? I ain't no Mason because I don't even know what a Mason is. Said that I was a Mason. And the other man back there, this other bishop, was a Mason. Well, let me look up. I don't even know what a Mason is, but since I'm on here, let me see what a Mason is. I said a Mason, and I was sitting on the front row. I said, no, sir, you got the wrong one. Okay, wait. Okay. All right. So a Mason, this is what it means. I'm just looking it up. A builder, a worker in stone, a Freemason, a Mason's handshake, built from or strengthened with stone. Oh my God. The full meaning of a Mason or of Mason, M-A-S-O-N. A skilled worker who builds or works with stone, brick, or cement. Okay, so it's mentioned in the Bible in 1 Kings 5:17, 1 Kings 5:18, and 2 Samuel 5:11. When you go to deal with stone, but we already know when we're dealing with stone, Peter, Petros, the rock is the stone. We already know that Jesus Christ is considered the chief cornerstone. So we know about those type of stones, but I couldn't see the face of the thing. See, this is another thing about dealing with the supernatural and seeing spiritual things and being a prophet and doing this stuff since I was 5 and 6 years old. I done had to see things all my life and then sit back and wait for God to tell me what it was. But now let me look at what these Masons is. The Freemason. Well, here is the meaning of Freemasonry. Okay, the fundamentally, this is what it is. A self-improvement, volunteer association that teaches moral, intellectual, and spiritual lessons through 3 initiation ceremonies, Freemasonry's 3-degree or modeled after a craftsman's progress, apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. Good God from Zion. Ooh. Freemasonry, the teachings and practices of the Fraternal Order of Free and Accepted Masons, the largest worldwide secret society. Huh? Oh my God. This is how much I don't be wanting nothing to do with a lot of stuff. When God be showing me stuff and I don't like the terms, or I don't even consider it, because I've been prophesying for so long. And one thing I know I'm so careful about, I don't want no type of air about myself, arrogance. Like, I want to always be confident, but I definitely don't want to be associated with certain types of things and certain types of people. So a lot of things, I won't even say anything about it. I'll just see it and I'll just say, okay. A lot of, like, even with seeing with a lot of celebrities, a lot of stars, I see it. I don't say anything. It just, I don't say nothing. I just see it. Okay, God reveals the secrets to his servants, the prophet. God reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophet. So if it's any secret society or secrecy I'm connected to, it would have to be the secrecy connection to the kingdom of God, which is the kingdom of light, which God gives us illumination, God gives us wisdom, and God gives us understanding, okay? But yeah. Oh, shoot. All white folk. Is it Benjamin Franklin? Okay. So I'm gonna be honest, I never studied this, and I don't want to really deal with it. So we're going to go into Acts chapter 9 today, because while I went to go look for that, I heard God say, go to Acts chapter 9 today. I'm trying to talk about that because that's what I went to, but I just got today's message and today's prophetic words. We're about to go into that momentarily. Acts chapter 9. This is going to be good. So yeah, just to sum up that part, that word that Cat Williams did last night, and the way Shannon Sharpe, to me, to me in that thing is like Shannon Sharpe was really out of his league. But it was so sophisticated. It was the way Shannon Sharpe was just so sophisticated. He was so classy with it. I don't know if it was the brown he had on or how he was just sitting there taking it. It was like he was a strong man. Ask God. It was like he was a strong man. And it was just like he was a confident man. He was a strong man, and he was a confident man. And no matter what position Cat Williams came at him with, he was strong. It was like he was he was laid back. He was like, wait. So, and you know, if you ever be watching that guy Shannon Sharpe, which I only started seeing him last year when they was doing something. My son is the one who told me to start watching them and the pivots, because I like how athletes do things and stuff. But if you ever look at Shannon Sharpe outside of that interview, he's really loud. He's really loud. He's really like demanding and he's funny, and it's like he's like very assertive in certain settings. But last night it was just like he just looked and said, this is going to be one of them type of things. And he looked at Cat Williams, because you know Shannon Sharpe is sharp. That's what it is, sharp, keen, discerning. He looked and said, this black nigga ain't come up in here to lie about nothing. And I can't manipulate my way about. And then he just kept, that interview, that interview was the bomb. That interview was the bomb. I loved it. Shannon Sharpe wasn't trying to overtalk him. And even if Cat Williams fell down emotionally in the interview, felt a little down, you can see Shannon Sharpe come right back in over top and then kicking another question that will bring him back in, on that level to articulate and express himself, because mentally it was like Cat Williams was reliving every single thing that ever happened to him while he's in that interview. And I swear to God, I wish he hadn't had that little bit of drink he had, because the drink is what it simmered down his fire. But I swear for God, when he talked about Taraji, all I could see was myself. When he talked about Taraji, he said the way for 10 years, you just got to take it. You've been taking it. You ain't been saying nothing. Just taking the abuse, just taking it. And you the greatest, you the best. Nobody can do what you do. That's why, I'm telling you, for what they did to me, that's why judgment done hit. I'm telling you, for what they did to this living, I don't care what you think about me. I'm a living, authentic prophet. I did every single protocol. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I did every single thing. And then when God had to send that angel to me and say, what the angel looked at me and said, why is God protecting you so much up here and so much down there? Meaning that God ain't even going to let a man get into my head, and he ain't going to let a man get into my. Then I was sitting at a table. And when I was sitting at a table in another one of my visions, this angel came to me, and my back was I was facing forward at the table. When I was facing forward at the table, the angel said to me, what's that on your head? She was like, they scared of you. You about to go into politics. What? I mean, God tells me my purpose and my destiny. God does. Can't nobody rob me to get to it. Can't nobody steal it to get to it. I have the blueprint. I have what God has for me to do. That's why I never push the issue of politics. And when I see any troublemakers or anybody try to jump onto my coat and jump onto me to go into a realm of politics or to deal with politicians and the prophetic parts of the government being upon the shoulders, and I see they try to jump in on my coat, I'll delete everything I got about politics. Because I'm not with the troublemakers. I'm not with no protest. When God comes and he does something, it ain't about a protest. It's about straight up, say what needs to be said, pray what needs to be prayed, write the edict, write the declaration, write the decree, and there you have it. No going and talking about no riots and turning this up. I'm not with that animalistic behavior. When you're going to deal with politics in your life or in any arena, you can't even your name has to be impeccable. It's like trying to go get a job for the Pentagon. It's like trying to get a job for the Navy or the Marines. Okay? The Navy, the Marines, the CIA or the FBI, even if you're just a special agent, your name has to be good. You cannot be no jack up at all. And so even when I was watching the thing about Martin Luther King, I was looking at him. And when I was just studying him, I was just looking at him. I was like, I just kept looking at his eyes, because his eyes remind me of my grandfather. His eyes remind me of my eyes. And when I look at his eyes look just like my son Christian's. His eyes look like my daughter Narai's. He just got pretty, he had a pretty slant eye, like a pretty eye. And you could see pain in his eye. You could see when he was happy, you could just see in his eyes. You could see through his eyes. And I remember I was living in College Park, Georgia. And I was living there in 2011. And I had to go downtown to take care of some business at a really, really important building. I swear to God, this ain't no lie. So when I had to go in there and take care of this important building, going to this building, I had to take Joseph with me. And Joseph was only a little baby. And he was like, I guess he was like a year old. I don't know. He was in a stroller. And they didn't think he was my baby. And so the two black men that were down there, the two black federal agents that was down there, they looked and they said, the one said, that boy looked like Martin Luther King. That boy got the eyes of Martin Luther King. And I said, huh? He said, that boy right there in that stroller, is he yours? I said, he's mine. And he said, he got the eyes of Martin Luther King. And it's things I know that I would never say. Because when people find out your real gifts and your real call, and they done tried to be something all their life, and God never wanted it on them, and then God places the real call with somebody who didn't want to do it for fame, didn't want to do it to get a great name, didn't want to do it for fictitious motives and vain agendas, and they really did it because God made them do it, God compelled them to do it, or God just told them to do it, and they said, yes, Lord, I'm going to do it, or yes, Lord, I will say it. Part 2 coming up.